Vincenzo'S Go Crypto Investing on this 11th of July of 2023 on a gorgeous, stunning, not a cloud in the sky, 85 degrees, approaching the noontime Central Standard Daylight Time in the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in Central Illinois. This is Vincenzo'S Go Crypto Investing. Old happy birthday, the 4th birthday of Thomas Jr., right? So we'll give him a big birthday shout out. But we need you to subscribe, like the channel, bell notification, and comment down below to fleece, heist, and shiest and get the education and information that you need. Most importantly, with this channel that separates our channel from all is how we look into all sectors of the economy. And I want you to notice something very important on the Rivian chart. Yes, they IPO'd. I've been out here working since before they IPO'd, when it wasn't even here yet, and we built it, and they had a huge 96% crash because the IPO got in, and the dirty little secret with the IPO is the same thing of an ICO. On the IPO, initial public offering for stocks, people with money, $100,000, $1,000,000 in big bags, they get in on pre-IPO when the company is in its infancy stage and in the research stage and trying to eventually make a company, build cars, get on the stock market. And the people that invested early on the pre-IPOs get the shares for pennies on the dollar, a quarter, 50 cents, whatever they got. And then if it takes 5, 10, 20 years and they IPO, they immediately sell those shares to the retail trader, whether it's $5 and opens up at or $65, because if they pay 50 cents and it opens at 65, they can get 150 times their money, right? Because they got it for 50 cents and they're selling it for $65, so they kill it. But the dirty little secret, just like the ICOs in turn, initial coin offering, is those are the people that get rich. They sell it to the retail trader. When it IPOs at 65, it skyrockets to 185 because the retail trader doesn't understand that it's just people selling shares that are now newly created that they got when they pre-IPO'd it, because they invested 10 years ago banking that their payday would come one day. And the dirty little secret is, as soon as they're done selling, as soon as those pre-IPO investors get all their money back, the sellers are done, the buyers start to dry up with the retail trader, and the price has to crash because they haven't built any cars yet. When they IPO'd, they were still getting the plant ready, and they were losing money, taking too long to build cars, all the normal things that go on with building a car, which is the same thing as an initial coin offering. What happens is it's a little bit different, but it's the same situation, but more criminal, because ICOs and pre-IPOs are legal. The way ICOs work is Vincenzo makes his own coin. Vincenzo has 100,000 Vincenzos on his Cenzo coin, and then he out of his 100,000 coins, he creates 1,000,000 Cenzos. And then find a guy with 1,000,000 followers on social media, and I give him 1,000,000 Chenzos, and I say, promote this, and whatever you want to sell it at, whether it's a penny, whether you can pump it to $1 or 5, you can sell it, and you can pump it from your audience, from your influence, and you can make all that fucking money. And then as soon as your audience is getting the price collapse, and that's a classic pump and dump in the initial coin offering. But it's similar to how IPOs work. Just IPOs are legal because people are legally investing in the company, and 9 times out of 10 these companies never make the stock market, and they lose their investment because the company never gets there. They might build cars, but then they go bankrupt, or they might build cars and never go public, and then these people lose all their money. But initial coin offerings, ICOs, are criminal, at least in my mind, because you get a guy with millions of followers and big influence on a sphere, and then he gets a bunch of coins on the side, on the back alley, and he's told to just jack up the price by promoting it to his audience, and his audience buys it. The coin pumps because there's very low volume. He gets rich. You guys buy it at a crazy high price, and then it just goes down 99% and sits there, and you're holding that bag forever because it's junk. But what we need to talk about here, and that's what we're talking about, and that's why you join Old Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, for the insight, the education, and information, and non-biased and unapologetic. Doesn't go on the hype train, doesn't look for the hopium to you guys, or to make you feel good and stoke your ego. He is not bought and paid for. We are here for the integrity and truth. But what's to note here is you can see right there when it IPO'd, all the retail traders bought the IPOs, the people that invested 10, 15 years ago, as soon as they were done, the volume dried up, the selling commenced for months, a whole year. Then we had a little brief rally right here at the bear market rally. It went up about 50% from its low, and then the selling commenced. But now look what's going on here. The volume started steadily increasing, and then all of a sudden the buyers came in, and now the volume is just pumping. And if the volume can continue to lead price, I see no reason now that as they're building cars now, their earnings are better than expected. They're selling and building cars at what they thought they would, if not even exceeding it a little bit. And over the next year or two, I think the money's going to start flowing in. And I think eventually this stock is going to start to get back up into here over the next couple of years. And there's still time to buy it. But with this volume coming in, it's telling you the volume's coming in substantially. And the company is building cars efficiently now. They're producing cars at a mass level. It looks like an auto plant. I am out here. You could say I'm an insider at this. This is your insider because I'm watching them build and deliver cars every day. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cars, hundreds of Rivians are being shipped out of here as they're the biggest truck seller for electric trucks in the world, right? And I think it's still early, and I think this is going to continue to skyrocket. And I think over the next 3 to 8 weeks, we're going to hit this $40. I think in the blink of an eye, in the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to hit $40. And if you're not in, I think you should get in because I think you're going to miss a really exciting ride if you do not get in on this. There will be a correction. It's up 100% from its swing low. Nobody probably got that, but a lot of people got the 40, 50, 60, 70%. It's had 9 consecutive trading days in the green, and it looks like this might be its first trading day in the red. And if it does have some kind of correction where it comes down to 23 or even 21, that is a phenomenal buying opportunity. Even now, it's a phenomenal buying opportunity. It's $3 lower than its high yesterday. I think you're missing the boat, and I've been continuing to tell you because we bought in down here, and I've been telling you to ride this pump, and now it's coming up to that blue trading zone like we talked about. If you look at my snapshots that I put on Facebook comment or YouTube comment sections, you know, just like the crypto sphere we were talking about the other day when the price was in here, as soon as you get up into this blue trading zone, it's going to be heavy resistance, and they often like to sell off real quick, get the weak hands out, the charlatans, a little profit taking because it's a technical level to sell. Then you hit the buy zone, and then you skyrocket into here, and then you got to trade through this blue trading zone. I think even if you get rejected, the $21.80 to $22 will be your support, and then you're going to have a big explosion back to the upside if it even gets down into these areas. But don't miss out. Don't wait for a big 50% pullback. I don't think that's going to happen right now. And if you buy shares at $22 in 10 years, Rivian's going to be at least 3 to 5-fold that, guaranteed. Put it in the bank, lock it up. They sell cars, they make money, they have a commodity, they have a purpose and a utility. And the technology part of the company too is just phenomenal. But if you go into the coins, because everybody likes the coins, the crypto coins has been kind of bland. Things have been pumping 10 or 20% in a couple of days and then losing that 10 or 20%. Even though when they're up 20% in a week, they're still down 80% over the last from their all-time highs. So in reality, if you're holding it from back then, it's just a pile of shit. Like, it doesn't really matter because you're not making the money because you bought in and it went down 95% and then it rocketed 30% from its low, but that's not like you got 30% of your money back. That's like you got 5% of your money back. So you're down, instead of 95%, you're down 90% now. And it feels like you have nothing because you don't. When you're down 90%, it's a horrible feeling. It's a horrible thing. And it's very painful depending on how much money you put in there in accordance and in calculation and in percentile of what you could afford to lose. And does that affect you? Does it change your life? If it doesn't change your life, it's like it never happened and it's just going to the casino on the roulette wheel and losing, then it's no harm, no foul. Just get the education, don't make that mistake again. But if you're in there and you bought even this way back up here and you're down 80% and you needed that money, and now you're making life-changing decisions by can't pay your rent, can't pay your phone bill, can't keep food in the fridge, water, right, the electricity on because you bought these coins that you were fleece heisted and shysted on by these paid promoters. It's a huge problem. It's a huge deal, and you need to work your way through that because some of these coins, most of these coins, almost all of these coins will never come back the same way the tech sector was in 97, 98, 99, where all these tech companies blew up, and 99% of them never came back. They all went bankrupt. You wouldn't even know if I named them now. former ones that used to be at $100 a share back then, which is like $1,000 a share in today's share money. And you don't even know they existed because somebody bought the top, somebody bought the hype train, and when the tech bubble popped, all the malinvestment, all the charlatan companies, and all the phony baloney companies that went bankrupt, they closed up shop. It's like it never happened, and the only people that got hurt were the people working there, and most importantly, the people that invested lots and lots of money based on FOMO, based on the same misinformation that these people used to do back then, just a little bit different because there wasn't YouTube and there wasn't mass internet the way there is now in 2023. But they would put infomercials, they would send flyers, they would get on the radio, they would put commercials on TV, they would find you, and oh, did they find you, right? But you can see we're still consolidating here, and you can look at this pattern as one of two things. It took the uptrend here, but quickly got rejected. And now you could say this is a pennant consolidation, right? You got your pennant flag right there, which is a neutral consolidation, or you could say this is a mountain double top, right? And if it's a mountain double top, your technical target is going to be all the way back here at 31 to 32 cents. And for some reason, that 37 cents, that's the critical area that we've been talking about for essentially 2 years. Somehow I took that out, but we're going to put that back because that's been your mid consolidation, right? Get out of there, right in here for the better part of a year, almost a year and a half now. So if you keep getting rejected, you slip these moving averages in the daily time frame. See that daily time frame down there? You slip the moving averages, you're coming back to 38 cents, and then that would be where you need to hold 38, 37 cents. And then you can maybe bounce back up to 51 cents. But if you slip below it and you sort of pull right here, the bottom part, you slip below it and start using it as resistance, that's telling you you're going much lower. But we're going to continue to watch it. You can see the moving averages now have been all erratic, but now they're starting to all run parallel to the price. And that means the price, the volume's either going to come in heavy buy volume or heavy sell volume. But what this is telling you here, and a little bit of technical analysis 101, when the moving averages are very far apart, you're hyper volatile. In this case, it was hyper volatile to the downside and then hyper volatile to the upside. But when they do that and you get the volatility and then the price starts to trade and tighten up, the bands and the moving averages start to run parallel with the longer term moving average of 200 in green at the bottom, the short term in red, the 50, and then right in the middle, you got the 100-day in green, formed sort of like this duck, right? Duck's beak. And that's telling you that eventually, the longer, if the consolidating bands look like that for a few days to a week, it's just building the price. It's like a volcano, and eventually it's going to erupt, and the volume's going to rush back in, and it could either pump it in a big fashion or it could dump it in a big fashion, depending on the overall feeling of the buyers and sellers of the market, or the market is just individuals and people trading it, retail and or institutions and or computer trading. But the computer trading is just trading people's money, and money is people. People are money, and the commodities and the stocks. And that number on the screen is just an indication of where the mood and the sentiment and the interest and the confidence in any kind of business or industry that you're investing in, because all this chart shows is the confidence in the stock, or in this case, the crypto, where the people pushed these lines to the upside 20,000%, and then the people dumped it 75% in the bear market. But you can see the classic double top here, right? And all of crypto misdiagnosed this. All these big YouTube charlatans, they seen that, and they were convinced that you were in some kind of consolidation, and then the next leg to the bull run, you could just simply, and the funny thing is here's what these charlatans and fleecers were showing you. They were saying this is just a brief consolidation because the 4-year cycle was null and void, and this was just an infinity bull market, and you would never have a bear market again. This was the last, third and final bull market, and this is what was supposed to happen. By now, when we were back here in 2021, if you don't remember, at minimum by the middle part of 2023, the Bitcoin price should have been at no less, by all these people's calculations, no less now, 2 years removed from the $70,000, nearly $70,000 high, you should be somewhere between 150 and at minimum $200,000 in a Bitcoin price. You might have hit 200, now you're back at 125 in a huge correction. But the Bitcoin price was supposed to be up here according to all these paid promoters, all these fleecers on YouTube that got huge because for a 2-year span, they looked like they were right. And everyone started subscribing to them and following them and buying their cards and buying their hats and shirts and classes and courses and schemes and scans and coins they promoted to make them rich, to buy them millions of dollar houses, $100,000 vehicles, Mercedes Benz, traveling around the world, yachts, and all this nonsense. You people are the ones that gave them that by giving them your hard earned fucking money, listening to a charlatan, a hooligan, and a scumbag, right? But the Bitcoin price here is still in this big bear market rally. And what we're going to try to do is get above this $29,075 if we can, which we have. We're going to run up against this red trading zone, which is the VP volume indicator. When you're above it, it likes to get bullish and act as a bounce. But when you're below it, it likes to act as resistance. And if we continue to get resistance on here, just like the XRP price, we're going to flush all the way back down to 19,000. If the buyers come in, you can see the moving averages are running parallel. If the buyers come in, you could pump up to $39,000. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love.